Hey, my friend, welcome to Money Mission #1, Email Cash. My name is Josh, and we're going to make you some money. Do you want to make money? Do you hate money? You don't hate money. Look, we're going to make real money using our brain. And we're going to talk about emails, which sounds like a really boring topic, because it kind of is. But when you're making 10 times more money with your emails than you ever have before, then it's not as boring anymore, right? So let's talk about holes in your bucket. See this little horrible doodle I drew of a bucket with water leaking out of the bucket? With a lot of small companies, what happens is we get really obsessed with getting new customers, which is good. I mean, we want new customers, but we also want to get more money from the customers we already have. You know, there's people that already know, like, and trust you, and 9 out of 10, maybe 9.9 out of 10 small companies don't extract maximum value out of their past customer list. Email is a really, really clever, simple, inexpensive, basically free way to do that. We're going to talk about sending email campaigns. There's 3 types of campaigns you can use, what I'm going to teach you in a few minutes with. The first one's called a Rainmaker campaign, okay? And the purpose of these campaigns is to go to your past customers, get them to buy more stuff from you more often, okay, and put more money in your pocket. The second type is seasonal campaigns, and the third type is Wellington. Now, a Rainmaker campaign is a very simple series of 3 emails back to back over 3 days, along with 3 text messages and 3 voicemails over those 3 days. So imagine it's Monday morning, and your past customers get an email at 9 in the morning, and then they get a text message at 10 in the morning, they get a voicemail at 11 in the morning, and then day 2 on Tuesday, the same thing happens again. On Wednesday, it happens again. Now, if they reply back to you and they buy, or they reply back to you and say, leave me alone, then you take them out of that sequence. But the reason this works so well is because it is a sequence. Most small companies, they send 1 email. You know, as someone that deeply cares for you and loves you, okay, I'm going to give you some tough love here. You're never allowed to send 1 email ever again. We always send a series or a sequence of emails at a minimum. Even if you don't want to do the texts and the voicemails, that's fine, although it will increase your conversion rates. If you don't, you at least send multiple emails at a minimum. And a Rainmaker campaign is something you can do in a pinch to make a whole bunch of money. In fact, I'll scroll down here. These are 3 itty bitty tiny small examples. I have really big examples, but it breaks some people's brains. Chris, the very first time that he did this, he had a carpet cleaning business, made $7,000 the first week. Okay. Brian, he has a pressure cleaning business in New Jersey, made $32,000 doing this in less than a week his first time. And in fact, he had so many people calling him from this one campaign that he left me a stressed out but laughing voicemail because he had 3 people on the phone at the same time. Jen made $11,000. She has a maid service. Doesn't matter if you have a restaurant, a maid service. There's slight nuances in the art and the way that you do this, but the principle is the same thing. I'm going to show you how it works. And before I show you how it works, let's talk about the F.R.A.P formula. The F.R.A.P formula is an acronym for frequency, referrals, average ticket, and pricing. And the reason we want to email our past customers more often in a more effective, clever way is to increase frequency. That's the whole point of it. You know, the Harvard Business Review says it's 5 to 7 times cheaper to keep an old customer than it is to get a new customer. And we know this, right? But sometimes we forget that when we're growing a small business, there's actually 3 ways that you make money. And most people only focus on the first way. And I'll tell you what they are. It's in the bottom right of my notes here. The first way is present bank. What that means is the money you get right now. So if someone comes into your restaurant and buys a cheeseburger and you make $22, congratulations, you got money today. But that is the smallest part of the real value here. If you're only chasing new customers all the time, you're only going to get the $22, and then you find another person to get $22, and you find another person to get $22. And when you're doing that, you're essentially the leaky bucket business. You have a bunch of water going in the top of the bucket, but then it's leaking out because we're not increasing frequency by engaging and thinking of logical reasons to get people back in, okay? Future Bank, which is the next thing on my notes, is the lifetime value of that relationship. So $22 burger guy, if we choreograph things correctly and we use text messaging and follow-ups and promotions and we wow and delight them and do a great job, that one guy might be worth $7,000 to your restaurant over the next 36 months. He might come there once a week or 3 times a week. He might have his business meetings there. He might refer 17 people to be there. He might buy a steak once a month and a burger the rest of the time, right? And so you get the today money, which is the present bank. Then you get the lifetime value money, which is the future bank. And then the big payday for you is if you decide to exit your business someday. We call that big bank. That's the enterprise value of your whole business. And we want to have massive amounts of customers, but we also want a high lifetime value for all of the customers. And that's what a good email system can do for you. We want to get brand new shiny customers. Yes, we want to keep them in our bucket forever and not let them leak out. Okay, let's talk about the problem with email. So most emails that most small businesses send out, and really just start paying attention to this when you get marketed to by other people. Because when you start learning this stuff, you can't see the world the same way. You realize that marketing is everything and everything is marketing. You're going to start noticing that most emails are really boring. Number one, they sound very corporate. Number two, you see, the smaller the company, the more they overcompensate and try to sound like some huge, giant professional thing. And that actually works against you. You know, one of your advantages of being small and scrappy as a business is the fact that you're a human. You're a human selling products and services to another human. You're not AT&T or Coca-Cola. You don't have to pretend you're Verizon Wireless. I see emails go out that sound overly corporate, and they say things like, you know, dear valued customer, your customer service is our top priority. They say all this stuff, and they have paragraphs of nonsense, and then they give a 10% off coupon at the bottom of the email. And then, of course, the business owner is discouraged because their email marketing is terrible and no one buys the stuff, right? The third problem is that we only send emails when it's expected. We only send transactional emails, or we only send emails when it's Black Friday, or when it's Cyber Monday, or when it's Mother's Day, or when it's 4th of July, or whatever. You know, there's certain times of the year, depending on your industry, when kind of everybody's promoting to people, and the only time they hear from you is during those times. And then you send one email, and then it sounds corporate, and then you have a lame 10% off coupon that is like white noise, and it's not effective, right? Because you get lost in the mix. The other part of the problem, like I said, is you get one touch, and then a lot of these emails from small business owners, they come across as very needy. Imagine, I think it's the old movie Oliver Twist, right? He's like, please, sir, can I have some more porridge? A lot of these emails have that kind of a vibe. It's like, please, we need money. Can you come buy hamburgers at a restaurant? Can I please clean your windows again? Please, can I have some more porridge? And it doesn't work. It's weird. It's awkward. And that's why no one makes money with it. I can fix that for you, and we're going to do it right now. Here's the rules, okay? When we do an email campaign, rule number one is we need a logical justification. What does that mean? What it means is that we're going to have an excuse, a reason why we're doing the email right now. It's a logical reason why right now we're contacting them right now. Now, this can be almost anything. You know, one of the things I like to do that I'll show you at the end here is use weird, unknown, silly holidays as an excuse to launch a promotion. My wife and I love chips and salsa. I'm sure you do too, right? If you have a heartbeat and a pulse, you must love chips and salsa, I'm assuming. Well, did you know there's a National Chips and Salsa Day? Most people don't know that. It's kind of silly, kind of weird, but we can launch a whole email campaign and have tongue-in-cheek humor with it when it's totally unexpected. But the reason we're doing it is, hey, we are huge fans of chips and salsa, and because of that, everybody that books a such and such service, we're going to give, you know, a bag of chips and salsa to, plus a discount of this and this and this, or whatever, a free bonus of this and this. Another logical justification would be, hey, we're expanding. We just invested in new equipment, and we need 18 people to test it out on. It's going to be amazing. And if you help us, we help you, right? And that could be like an excuse as to why you're promoting this thing right now. Another logical justification would be, hey, your name came across my desk this morning. It looks like you're due for service. What works best for you, mornings or afternoons? I'll get that taken care of for you. That's a logical justification. It's very different than just saying, please, can I have some more porridge? It's very customer servicey. It's like, hey, a note popped up that you're due for service. Just want to make sure we're serving you. Did you need it at the beginning of the week or the end of the week, right? That type of a vibe. The second rule is to make it multi-touch. We never send one, ever, never, ever. We send series of sequences. When we're doing a campaign, right? You know, if you're sending a newsletter to them or just a general update email, that's one thing. You see, that you can send one of those. But when you're doing any kind of email where you're trying to get money, we're going to have a reason to send more than one, because you're going to make 3, 5, 7, 10, 15 times more money by doing it this way. I think I mentioned it needs to be unexpected. And then, of course, it should feel like an opportunity, not an ask. It should feel like an opportunity for them to buy your thing, not just you asking them to buy their thing. I'll give you an example. One really popular one that works really well for service industry people is what I call a media release. So the reason we send out the campaign is, hey, we're looking for some new before and after pictures for our website. We like to keep it fresh on social media and on the website because that helps us attract new customers. You have a beautiful home, and as long as you agree to let us use the before and after pictures, we're willing to do the service that you're due for anyway, plus give you this free extra $200 value bonus service as a way of saying thank you. See, wording it like that, the choreography of doing it like that is so much more effective. There's a logical, unexpected reason, right? It's an opportunity for them, not an ask. It's still customer servicey. And then on top of that, we're going to send them 3 days in a row of just following up, not in a spammy way, but in a very customer servicey way. Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? You see, it's not so much like if you're doing email or not. The question isn't, are you doing email? Do you email your past customers? That's not the question. The question is, how do you email your customers? And what we're talking about here is the how. It's the nuance. It's the choreography of it that makes the whole difference. I could have 100 companies all say that they do email, and only one of them is doing 20 times more revenue from the same size list as the rest because they're doing it like this. If you look at this graphic here, it says, pro tip, build these in advance so you're never scrambling again. So if you're doing a seasonal campaign or a Rainmaker campaign, I'll also tell you in a second what a Wellington campaign is. I skipped over that, a Wellington campaign. These are all kind of the same thing. It's an email sequence where you're going to get money. There's just different excuses as to why you're asking for money. But what we want to do is we want to look at the whole year for you. You know the natural buying cycles and the ebbs and flows for your business, and we want to figure out when should we do these campaigns. Do you do them at peak busy season or do them right when things are slowing down? And it's going to depend. You should talk to your battle group about that because it depends on your industry, the area of the country you're in, and your personal preference. But we want to build these in advance because what's awesome is once they're built, you can reuse them forever. You might have 3 or 6 total campaigns spread out throughout the year, and it might be a little bit of work to create them. But what if every one of them is worth, $20,000 in revenue to you, and you can set it and forget it, and you have 6 of them? Now we have 6 figures worth of automated revenue harvesting emails, keeping the holes in your bucket plugged, right? Getting people back in that already trust you, increasing the frequency. This is a magical thing. So we're going to pre-schedule. Here is the components that you want to put into the email too. A good hook is very helpful. And a hook for an email would be like the subject line. So instead of in the subject line putting, new Thanksgiving Day discount available, instead of doing that, which sounds promotional, you might just put following up, ... Or you might put capital R, capital E, colon, quick question, which looks like it's a reply to an email, right? Or sometimes I'll do emails where I have a capital FWD, colon, which is like a forwarded email, right? There's all kinds of ways to get creative with this, but you need something that stands out so they'll open the email. You can use bonuses as a way for people to take action. I'm a huge proponent of not discounting your prices, at least not for real, but instead adding value. Don't lower the price, instead add value. You might have a $200, perceived value thing you can do for them when they buy your package, but maybe it only costs you $20 in hard costs to give the $200 thing away. So that's a good habit to get into. We want to use urgency. Why should they do it right now? Is it because they're due? Is it because it costs more if they wait? Is it because there's potential damage to their property if they don't take action now? Is it because if they wait, the weather's going to make it so you can't even do it at all? What's the urgent reason they need to do it right now? We want to make it as personalized as we can. When you're sending these series of emails, I'm going to give you a pre-written script to give you as a template, kind of a guide to start with. But the more you personalize any marketing, the better it's going to do. And personalization goes far beyond just using their name. That's great, use their name, but it's talking about the name of their neighborhood or talking about your city or the town or talking about the University of Michigan and how they're so much better than the Michigan State Spartans, right? These types of silly things, they humanize you, it personalizes it to people. And then, of course, other potential components are scarcity. Maybe you only have 10 spots of this new package you created, and you send this campaign to your list and sell the 10 real quick. Fear of missing out. And again, be human and make sure you always have a logical justification. Real quick, before I show you the template and you can go make a bunch of money, let's scroll back up to where it says Rainmaker campaign, seasonal campaign, or Wellington campaign. Again, these are basically the same thing, but a Rainmaker campaign, I call it that because a lot of people I'll work with, they're in desperate need of money, and we just need to do something right now to get money. And so we call that a Rainmaker campaign. And the way we structure it is there's an email and then a text and then a voicemail on Monday and then again on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday, all promoting one offer, right? We still have a logical justification. We change the script a little bit for each of the days and we push really hard. And that's a Rainmaker campaign, okay? A seasonal campaign is using the same principles as what we're discussing here, but build it out for your Christmas thing, your Black Friday thing, the 4th of July thing, the Valentine's Day thing, the Mother's Day thing, the whatever makes sense for you thing, all this standard operating seasonal holiday stuff. Still do that, right? But make it stand out by using these principles. And then a Wellington campaign is when you're using scarcity as the focus. Sometimes what I'll tell people to do is not send an email to your whole list, right? Or a sequence of emails, but instead, let's test new offers and packages to your list. And a Wellington campaign is, hey, because you're a VIP customer, we wanted to present you with something that no one else is going to see. And it's the opportunity to get our luxury whiz-bang, super doodad, amazing package thing. There's only 7 of these available. It's actually true. 4 are gone. We have 3 left. Here's what it is. Here's what you get. Here's why you should do it. And here's the amazingness of why you should do it now. Let me know your thoughts. We can get it scheduled. And this can be useful for other reasons, whether you're testing new products or services or offerings. A Wellington campaign done correctly can be done to a little bit of your list. It's based on scarcity, so there's not a lot of the thing. This comes from a story when I went to a fancy restaurant and our server said, "Excuse me, sir, can I secure the Wellington for you? The chef has very limited supply and it's an amazing dish. If you have any interest in the Wellington, I highly suggest you allow me to secure your Wellington." And I was like, I didn't even want Wellington. But after he told me I might not be able to have Wellington, I'm like, I think I want Wellington now, right? Because humans want what they think they can't have. So that's what a Wellington campaign is. Okay, so I know you're drinking through a fire hose. But it's okay because number one, you can watch this again. And just remember, it's always a lot easier to make money when you're having fun. If you ever get totally stressed out watching one of these, just stop watching it, take a walk, come back, right? Because it's easier to make money and be creative if you're relaxed. So here's the plan, like I said, an email on day 1, then a ringless voicemail, then a text. You could do the text first, then the voicemail, then the email. Doesn't matter which way you do it. It doesn't affect the results at all. But here's the key. This is the secret, okay? You ready for the secret? If you send the email first, you're going to say in the email, hey, don't worry if you can't reply back. I'm going to send you a voicemail and a text in case that's easier for you. So in the email, you're going to tell them, hey, I'm just trying to serve you. Maybe you're not an email person. Totally cool. I'll just leave you a quick voicemail and send you a text too. Whatever's easier, don't even stress about it. And then when you leave the ringless voicemail, if that's the second thing you do, you're going to say, hey, just sent you a quick email. Just wanted to let you know of the account credit that you have in your account that's about to expire. Logical justification. But hey, don't worry about calling me back. You can reply to email, or I'll tell you what, I'll send you a text too in case that's easier. Talk to you soon. Then we send a text, right? And the text is like, hey, I sent you an email and a voicemail. Don't know what's easier for you. Let me know your thoughts, right? And you're just so each of these 3 things throughout the day, they're very short, they're very brief, and they're referencing each other. So, and the reason why this is so effective is it feels like, and your goal should be to make it feel like one person is trying to serve and communicate to one person. You don't want this to feel like some mass promotion. You want it to feel like Sarah in the office is trying to get a hold of Larry because he's due for service, and you want to make sure he doesn't miss out on this super awesome thing. And Sarah's just trying to kind of confirm what day works best. And that's kind of the vibe. And then when you get to day 2, it's the same thing, same type. You don't say exactly the same. You don't send exactly the same email, text, and voicemail. They're slightly different, but basically the same, and so on and so forth. I also have a script here for you that you'll be able to. I won't read it here in this video, but you can go through and read it and understand it. There's examples, and then I also have a bonus link, timeanddate.com, where you can see all the silly holidays. Actually, Warplan AI can automatically write email campaigns for you in the AI section. And it can use these silly holidays. It makes things 1,000 times easier because you can put in kind of the basics, it'll write it, and then you just tweak it, edit it, spit shine it, make it your own, and then put it and send it wherever it is that you send your emails. And that's why we're here, is to help you go faster and collapse time. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.